I mean, I think architecture does follow the issues of society. Architecture really does reflect society's attitudes towards social interaction, towards the way that we currently live in our houses, with the relationship between kitchen, dining, and then living and the outside. If you think about the traditional house from Victorian era, there was a front portion to the house and there was a rear portion, and there was definitive separation between them, and then there was obviously sleeping upstairs. But we no longer live quite in that manner. We're much more oriented towards external living. So I think architecture does shift to reflect society. We're talking from a much more collaborative way that organisational structures operate. So we're encouraging team collaboration around problem solving, and then a heightened level of communication around the issues. So therefore that becomes more organic in its shape and less vertically hierarchical, and we're seeing much bigger, more horizontal workplace. There's a finite size. There's also an emphasis on larger floor plates. Today we like and encourage very large floor plates. Most recently in Docklands there's been some 7,000 square metre floor plates on one floor. And the view on that is that it's much easier for people to see what's going on and see the organisational structure, and you no longer have executives on the top floor and everybody else on the lower floors. And I think that that's a direct representation of our opinion on so. In social media, the theory is that you communicate with a much broader canvas very quickly in a very democratic manner, and that you're seeking feedback on the validity of those ideas, or the validity of that thinking, or the validity of anything you might be sharing. It might be a photograph, or it might be an opinion, and you're seeking instantaneous response, and that's represented with a like opinion, which then encourages further dialogue. And that in the context of where we are today, that can be across the whole globe. It's very exciting to be in global dialogue on issues, and that perhaps we're able to solve the problems that we have today in that manner, with a heightened level of international thinking on how problems might be solved. So I think that architecture is changing to reflect that, and that the city is an important place for commerce and entertainment and all those things that we understand as a part of our lives. But I suppose the nagging question is, do we need to be in the city? In theory we could be on the farm and interacting with the world via the internet. But I still think that there is a heightened level of interaction that comes from being in the city, where you actually are cheek by jowl with people.